Hello all. In the previous sessions of the Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, we were excited to know that AI is there with us in our daily lives and it has come to our lives in such a way that we cannot imagine our lives without AI now. Either directly or indirectly, AI is affecting us. We also learned how human intelligence is different from artificial intelligence. We learned the different types of AI and the techniques of AI. Now, in the third session of the syllabus, we are going to cover the applications of AI. This is a very, very interesting concept. So let us go further to understand which are the applications of AI, which we already know in a different way, but this will be presented in a different way now. Now, before we go to the applications of AI, let us first try to understand what AI can do. In the previous two chapters, we learned that the AI that we are using is of narrow AI, not of the general AI, because general AI is one which is similar to which one? It is similar to human intelligence. We are using narrow AI, which means that it is capable of doing one single task very, very efficiently. So now presently, AI is capable of analyzing complex amount of bulk text data. It can also analyze complex forms of other types of data. Other types of data means audio data, video data, images, then your animations, any kind of complex data it can analyze. It can do very smart search. You might have used Google, especially that once you type something, by the moment you reach the third or fourth character of an alphabet, immediately it picks it up, it knows what you're searching for. And it is capable of understanding natural language. So that concept is called as what? It is natural language processing. So presently, when I bring back to the concept of narrow AI, these are the things that AI is capable of doing. Natural language processing, you already know that if a machine, if an expert system or a smart machine is able to understand the language that we are speaking, then it is called as natural language processing. Let us go further and understand few more concepts now. Now, based on the task that an AI can do, it is classified into three types. One is ordinary task, formal task, and expert level task. So within that narrow AI only, there are different categories of tasks or work it can do. If it does voice recognition or speech recognition, processing graphical inputs, audio video inputs, language translation, reasoning, automated tasks like factory robots, then we say or we categorize that type of task or work to be as ordinary task. But if it does mathematical calculations, complex scientific calculations, derivations, and play strategy games, then we call that type of AI task as formal task. So as you can guess, what is the expert level task then? If it analyzes scientific data and processes enormous amount of data, especially predicting the trends and patterns in various industries, then we call that type of data as the expert level task. So just recapitulating whatever we have studied, what AI can do presently, we saw in the previous slide. And in this slide, we are seeing what are the three different tasks or task-based classification of AI, which is nothing but ordinary task, formal task, and expert level task. Now, as we have started this session, whose main topic is what applications of AI, and what better not to way to start with how AI is used in education and training. Now, all of you know that in the present scenario, we are experiencing that AI has played a very, very important role in giving education or training to people who are not capable of going to colleges and schools. Now, education and training is one sector wherein AI can be used in the maximum. I'm not telling that other areas we cannot use, but this is a very important field. So we are starting off with this one. There is a huge field with tremendous scope, especially in the 21st century, wherein all the curriculums of different boards and syllabus, they are concentrating on education, which should be very, very immersive, very, very exploratory, very, very interesting for the children. And it focuses on the 21st century skills. So creativity, collaboration, then collaboration, then creativity, all these things, when it is involved, AI can play a very important role over here. Critical thinking is also there. So in what areas we can use the AI? That is predicting the performance of students, designing the curriculum, smart assessments. After assessment is done, the teacher can use certain AI tools in order to evaluate the assignments. Also, the teacher can identify the students by seeing the learning patterns and assessment trends to know which students require help, whether any remedial sessions have to be taken, or some extra input has to be given in order to help the students to come up. And technology-based classes with remote teaching and learning, that is what we are seeing everywhere now. It can be used for research purposes, developing the projects, and we can go for immersive learning where the children will really enjoy and understand the concept in the best possible way. We can also use AI for voice-driven intelligent responsive learning systems. So if you have intelligent responsive systems, children can interact with the system and learn very interesting concepts. Virtual reality or augmented reality, which we talk about, can be done with 3D effects. And robot assisted teaching and training. In many of the areas, we see that there is a simulation being done. Suppose somebody has to go for training of complicated machines or airplanes or certain machinery, they can use this concept of AI in order to simulate the environment to make the teaching learning process or the training process more effective. It can be applied for the students from K to 12 as well as professionals who want to get training, but training in the real environment will be very expensive, but in the AI environment, it gives the same effect and feeling, and they can get certifications for that also. So to summarize, we can say that the key applications of AI in education are smart content generation, customized learning, adaptive learning, data visualization of performance and feedback, education consulting and counseling, immersive learning environments, and smart teaching. So whatever has been discussed in the previous slide has been summarized over here, and we have got these key applications. So as I told you, it can be used for teaching learning process. So when we say teaching learning, the teacher can use it to develop smart contents. Customized learning means the teacher can develop certain lessons which will be catering to the people or the students who require more reinforcements or more drilling sessions. So adaptive learning, students can choose any type of AI teaching learning systems in order to make their self-paced learning much easier. Then data visualization of performance and feedback means what the teachers can get a visualization of how the students are performing and how they can be helped in future to perform better. It can be used for educational consulting and counseling. And most important thing is immersive learning environment. And we go for smart teaching, wherein the students will be learning on their own with the assistance of the teacher, where the teacher will be just become a facilitator, not the rote learning method where the teacher is demonstrating or lecturing and the students have to sit quietly and listen. So that is not going to be there. It's going to totally change. And one of the important ingredient that is going to change or bring about this change is AI. So that's it for today's session. More coming up in the next session. Stay tuned.